Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Rumble in the Jungle. You're on Draft TV. This is your host, David Torello. Welcome to the Kiss America's PM race starting in just 16 seconds. Hefty field today. We got James McCabe, Johnny Rocket, Alan Lowe, Branding Mountain Tallow. And the race is starting off. Pull that up. Make sure I'm in the pens and going with these riders. There we are. Starting off. Work our way up to the front here. There's Team Finesse with Poulet, James McCabe. Leading it out front, we got Fumin and Babby. It's 3 laps in the jungle this evening. Start off of the pier, work our way through the underwater boulevard, and then up the climb, working our way into the jungle. Right now, quick start off, showing about 4 watts. 5 watts there, Johnny Rocket taking the front of the group. And the group is following up slowly behind them. Right now, things will be pretty calm as they work their way into the tunnel. So, this is my first broadcast. Please feel free to join in. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm not loud enough, too loud. And I'll try to correct it here. I don't think there's any music going on. Is that okay? Is that okay? You let me know. So where are we? Got Johnny Rocket up there. Let's see if we get a better view here. Pretty grupo compacto. No real push. Pretty tight together. Got Frank Deal on the front there, leading it out 5.2, taking a little bit of a lead, going into the tunnel. There we are. Yeah, let's go back through this riders list. Let's see if it's live and updated. Got Team Finesse there with the head captain there, Johnny Rocket. Team Draft showing up with James McKay, Mo. Who else we got there? And HPP with David Charles. And Fred Goulet. And Team X with Frank Deal. Making our way through the Ocean Boulevard as they head over to 3 laps in the jungle. You're familiar with the jungle? It's a descent down in and a slow, steady climb with a little bit of a bridge at the end. Be pretty compact until we get to the first climb leading up to the jungle. Pretty calm right now. Let's see. What else can I tell you? I got Johnny Rocket there. Team Finesse. He's brought his teammates with him. Patrick Martin and Alan Lowe. No real moves yet. Be pretty calm. So please let me know. Let me know what you think of the stream so far. This is the first time watching. This is Zwift. Zwift is a training platform / racing platform. I can hear the music coming from. Still Grupo Compacto a little bit. Coming out of the tunnels, usually you'll see a little bit of a push. Doesn't mean a whole lot at the beginning of the race. So we got one rider dropping off here a little bit, fading. B. Cooley. Will he be able to get back together with the group? He's in there, just working a little bit harder than he has to. Got Osenbrick. Losell. Big names in this group. Babby up in the front there. James McCabe bridging that gap. Little bit of a gap. More than likely will get closed just coming up to that hill. A lot of people saving energy for this steep climb. Heading into the jungle. Here comes Losell to the front of the group. Pretty consistent right now. Everybody's getting ready, positioning themselves as far as they can up to the front of this group as they make their way up this steep climb. Just 1, 2, 3 switchbacks before crossing the bridge. The sharp punch. First little dig into the day. Losell looks like he's taking the charge out the front. Group staying pretty close together. Losell's pushing that Johnny Rocket up there. Group's starting to string out a little bit up this climb. They hit 8%, 5, 6 watts per kilogram, pushing their way up this hill. Group's still pretty compact though. Like one rider dropped off the back there. Still keeping it pretty tamed. No real attacks coming up this hill. Got Johnny Rocket up in the front there. James McCabe. Alan Lowe. Team Finesse. Just behind him. You got their Goulet. Awesome Brick. Going up to the bridge. This is kind of the hardest part. If you're brand new to the A's, much like myself, this is one of those places where you have to learn how to dig. You have to learn how to suffer real quick. This is a quick suffer because once you get into the belly of the jungle, it's an onslaught. This is your warm up. Crossing over the bridge. If you're gonna compete, this is where you're sticking with the group or you're not sticking with the group. All you guys that are trailing off to the back here have to put some hard work into it. Get back up with these guys. No fun being back here. But you can stick with it, pushing up over that hill. You can catch a little bit of a breather before you make that turn into the route leading to the jungle. How many finesse team riders are there? Hulot, Martin, Rocket, Lowe. Finesse has come out tonight to show what they have for this afternoon, evening ride. Got a lead off the top there. Making our way, it looks like Frank Deal. Team X. He's putting his bid in. And David Charles for Team HPP coming up behind him. Same with LaSalle. And Goulet. And there's James McCabe. I'll push him 5 watts. This is a little bit of a climb before they start their descent down into the jungle. Bringing out a little bit down the back. He's struggling back here. Goulet looked like maybe Johnny Rocket was dropping back to help him. We got Econ in the back there. Once they get over this hill, it'll all stick back together again. Eugene Chan, he's still back there. He's holding on. Babby, he's off the back. He gave it his go. Go back up to the front here. Don't anticipate too much going off down this hill. Working their way down. Getting their breather in before they start making their rounds in the jungle. Looks like everybody that was going to stick with it is with it. If you're watching and you have any questions, please feel free to get involved in the stream. Not sure what's going on? Ask. Let me know. If you think this is a horrible production, let me know. I don't know unless you tell me. Things are pretty calm for right now. See if I can't get some music. Music's playing there. Baby. Here. There we go. Maybe the music's a little too loud. Hey Scott, welcome to the stream. Let me know if the music's too loud or if I'm too loud. Need some feedback. Yeah, it's really chill on the descent. Nothing's gonna happen. Everybody's grabbing their breath from that little climb into the climb up the hill. See if anybody decides to do anything. Still pretty calm. Got going on here. Looks like most riders that are probably sitting in the back right now trying to conserve their energy. pretty stacked field. You got LaSalle. You got Awesome Brick. You got James McCabe, Frank Deal, Johnny Rocket, Mo. Working their way down into the jungle here. Passing underneath the archway. Nice slow descent for the group. Everything's going to be calm until we get onto the other side and start working our way back out of the valley. Beautiful countryside here. Look at that beautiful waterfall. Goulet. Goulet's tough for Team Velocit. Velocit. That beautiful background. Let's get a see how much farther out we can get. That's it. Look at that beautiful scenery there. Just the Mayan style rumbles or ruins. Mayan ruins that are littered all over the jungle of ancient time. Back before Eric Min came and paved over it for Zwift. Couple more turns. They'll be inside the cave. See if anybody decides to make a move yet. Like James McCabe is dropping back a little bit. Maybe he's planning on something. No big numbers yet. Team Velo City is your first Zwift team. Wow. Exciting. Exciting. Low up the front here.
Spotify listeners, we know you love the freedom to access your music.
Starting to ramp up to that 5 watts a kilogram.
It is when you have stamps.com. Stamps.com gives
See what happens. See if anybody starts to take
post office right on your computer.
Velocit.
Whenever you need it. Send any package anytime.
Thank you very much.
Sign up now and get this special offer.
Thank you very much.
A 4-week trial.
Got Zwift.
And a digital scale. Go to stamps.com.
There they are, passing underneath the archway for the first lap.
Right now at CVS Farm,
First
you can earn up to 50 extra bucks rewards.
first power up being dropped. Probably looking to get something better. The feather was a good option though.
Might also do a little something for the health of your wallet. So
Velocity. Oh.
CVS Pharmacy,
Pushing out the front, Johnny Rocket.
earning up to 50 extra bucks rewards on prescriptions. Terms and conditions apply. Not valid on all prescriptions.
Johnny Rocket's hitting an attack.
Arkansas, New Jersey, or New York. Other state
His
restrictions.
teammates covering his own attack.
Rewards or the pharmacy for details.
Staying on top, breaking the group apart. Looks like there's 3 at the front. Charles, Low, and Rocket. Maybe they're hoping to break apart the group.
You'll always be our inspiration. Smart water, vapor distilled for purity.
Looks like Rocket and Low can push together and they can maybe keep this break apart. But it looks like Frank Deal is bridging that gap, bringing everybody else with them. James McCabe's coming along. Looks like Frank's pushed his way off the front of it. Bringing the group back together again. Couple feathers being dropped here. Looks like Fumin might be trying to make a move to the front. Starting to string out a little bit. Below Awesome Brick. They're all together. Group staying pretty compact though. Johnny Rocket and team member Alan Lowe were trying to do a little something off the front of the race. But that quickly got put back together by Frank Deal and the rest of the blob. Still pretty early in the race to do any major attacking and hold something for 3 laps through the jungle. Still Grupo Compacto. With 2 of the team finesse riders, Johnny Rocket and Martin are sitting kind of far back. They're covering themselves. Looks like is that Daniel Charles at the front there. Daniel Charles at the front. Alan Lowe's made his way back. James McCabe working his way up to the front of the pack on this climb. The slow, steady, I believe 4% climb. Not too bad. It's just persistent. Team Finesse holding the caboose of the peloton. James McCabe up at the front. Mo, for Team Draft, sitting in the middle. LaSalle in the top 3. Who else is up there? Goulet. Goulet's made his way to the front. There's Daniel Charles coming up right behind him. Still pretty calm. Just that early attack there by Johnny Rocket and team member Alan Lowe. Trying to see what was going on, see if anyone was paying attention. And that did not get too far away. Couple S-turns through here. And then they'll make their way onto the bridge. Still no major moves yet. Staying pretty tame for this ride. Got Goulet there. 165 beats a minute. Khan. No heart rate for Khan. Although he's on Zwift Power, he won't be counted for this race results, I believe. LaSalle, 168. James McCabe, where's that? There's a butterfly beater. We can find him. Oh no, we got tossed around. Oh, I can get worked back around here. More concerned about trying to find heartbeats. There we are. Oh. I'm working Finesse, the B group. There we go. Fumin, LaSalle. Not worried about the heartbeats now anymore. There they are, hitting the bridge. See if anyone tries to make a move on the bridge. Still Grupo Compacto. Nobody's really doing a whole lot. Austin Brook in the... lot. Oh, we got a power up being thrown down by Daniel Charles. He's pushing, hoping to break. Do his attacks sticking much? Got a little bit of a gap, but nothing that won't be covered. Group's coming back together again. Still pretty tight group. Big heavy hitters. A lot of racing left. Myself a little drink here. Starting to lap up some of the D riders. Charles, Goulet, and Frank Deal Alright, I have a 2-second gap on the Peloton. Deal's pushing 6 watts a kilogram. 5, 4.5, 5. Looks like they might try to work together to break this group apart. See if they can do something. But it looks like Lascelles going to work on bridging the gap himself. Lascelles coming. Well, Goulet. Lascelles pushing hard. 8, there are the orange numbers. Lascelles caught up. It looks like the pack slowly maybe making it back together. And it looks like it's all stringing back together. It was a nice little attack. Just enough to hack away at the legs a little bit early on. Oh, it looks like we have somebody off the back there. See what's going on in the back here. We got back there, back Alan Lowe, Con. Like everybody's back together again. Here we go. There's somebody pushing now. Is that Frank? Frank Deal. He's going for another round. Seeing if people are paying attention. Oh, just a test. Sending back down into the jungle. Group's kind of just hiding around there. Team draft. Sitting in. Waiting for the right moment. Team Finesse has plenty of players to just throw at the wall and see what sticks. Charles for Team HPP by himself. Got a super tuck going in there by Mo for Team Draft. Lascelles by himself. Goulet's by himself. So these solo riders have a little less work if they choose not to attack. I'm not the guy to talk about this stuff. I'm still learning. Back into the caves for the completion of their first lap. 2 more laps to go. Team Finesse still holding 3 riders together. And Team Draft with 2 riders. As they make their way out of the jungle, let's see if they might have any more attacks in there. Or they'll just ride this one hard. Up the side of the hill. Maybe. Frank Deal pushing at 5'9", 5'6", 6'5". Frank Deal trying to break away. Daniel Charles catching up. Those 2 riders. Goulet, he's looking at catching. There is a little bit of a stringing going on. Deal sitting around 5'2". Charles getting into his draft. But it looks like the group's going to be brought back together. Not a whole lot going on there. Maybe just to break up any of the weaker A riders in the back. See if they're really paying attention. Although I don't think I would call Awesome Brick a weak rider. James McCabe moving up to the 3rd wheel. Team member draft. Mo catching up with him. And Grupo Compacto as they work their way back up. Side hill. Frank Deal again with another attack. 7 watts, 6 watts per kilogram. Daniel Charles chasing him down. And Johnny Rocket staying on Daniel Charles' wheel. Looks like James McCabe might stand up to catch this. Gonna push hard on this lap, it looks like. Really stringing out. Looks like Frank and Daniel Charles might be working together. Then like one attack follows up with a recovery, and there goes Losell. Losell passing by. Kind of back into that. Kind of back together again, pushing their way through the Category D and Category B riders, Category C riders. maybe they can take advantage of the B, C, and D riders and maybe lose some of the sleeping A riders. They make their way out of the jungle. Austin Brick's been hiding for most of this race. He's a strong rider. Maybe waiting for his opportunity to drop an attack. Mo's hiding in there as well for Team Draft. And there's Belay, the front, leading the charge up the hill. What's the deal with Frank Deal? Looks like he was trying to see if there was any liveliness amongst the group. See if anybody wanted to play around. Johnny Rocket sitting in the back. Johnny Rocket, a notoriously economical rider, he managed to play with the A's, still putting out 3.5, 3.7 watts per kilogram after a race. James McCabe taking the front of the pack. And who's this? Pushing up past McCabe. Frank Deal again. Frank Deal on another attack. Frank's shooting from all cylinders. Looks like Mo for T Draft is going to bridge that gap. And Eric Losell as well, looking at bridging that gap. See if this might break some of the riders. Looks like it's stringing out, but it might be brought back together. James McCabe, Johnny Rocket, Awesome Brick. Everyone's trying to cover Alan Lowe a little bit further back. He's 2 seconds off the back. Mo sitting at the front, 1 second ahead. Got a little bit of a gap on fellow Canadian Eric Losell and fellow Canadian Goulet, who's looking to maybe bridge that gap. Both sitting at the front right now. The Team Draft. As they're about to approach the bridge. Another surge out of team member Draft Mo. Putting a big gap now, about 3 seconds back to Goulet. 4 seconds back to Losell. Daniel Charles at 6 seconds. James McCabe 6 seconds. It looks like that might have been what needed to happen. Getting a little bit of reprieve down the bridge. Really, 10 seconds now. Mo's hitting 183, 184 beats a minute, 183 beats a minute. Looks like Goulet gonna work on trying to maybe bridge that gap. Goulet, Losell, throwing some orange numbers as they come up at the bottom out of the bridge.
When you're selling online, it's exciting to watch the orders flow in. What's not so exciting? Shipping them out. That's why you need
Daniel Charles is also pushing 5 watts a kilogram. It looks like they're trying to reel him back in. Oh, still sitting out there.
Simple interface, so you can easily create
Hard to
for all the top carriers at the lowest rates. Now try
where they have to put in the extra work just coming off that climb on that short little punch out of the bridge.
Click on the banner or go to shipstation.com. Click on the
Group slowly coming back together. We'll give Mo a ride on for a hard effort.
is bringing South Beach to the swamp. Our menu is perfect for football,
Looks like that gap's slowly closing.
time. $6.59 gets you 10 boneless wings with fries, celery.
I was working his way back into the group.
Bangin' Chipotle or Blazin' Buffalo. Come catch the game with us and grab 10 boneless wings with all the fixins for only $6.59. Game on, everybody. Now at the Standard. It's Miami Grill, where
We're
everything
a
goes.
little bit further back here.
We ID.
Still,
Water's purity and
looks like that was the one move that broke Khan.
smart water one-ups them.
Ezra Khan.
That clean, crisp
He
taste. No offense, Clouds. You'll
couldn't handle that little bit of a
smart water.
attack out of both Frank Deal and Mo. That was a way to break off one rider. And Awesome Brick. Awesome Bricks got dropped in that little attack. Let's see how far back. Khan, over a minute back. And it's showing. Awesome Brick in there. Khan. Look like, yeah, it looks like it dropped Awesome Brick. That was the work needed to drop some of the additional riders. Still, Team Finesse, strong presence, 3 riders. Team Draft, 2 riders. Losell, Charles, and Fred Goulet, the solo riders. Little fireworks there. Alan Lowe making his way to the front of the group. Pretty tame going back down the hill. Everybody's trying to recover from all those attacks. Catch their breath, getting ready for that last and final lap of the Rumble in the Jungle. This is the Kiss America's PM race. 3 laps of the jungle circuit, 34 kilometers. 27 kilometers into the race, 37 minutes. Down the hill, they push down at 51 kilometers an hour. Yeah, I do everything in metric. Showing an estimated time of arrival, 48 minutes is the planned or expected finish time for this race. Go through some of the stats. Alan Lowe, 5-minute best of 5.6 watts per kilogram. Boulot, the going 4.9 there for David Charles. Bergoulet 5.5, 5.6 for Alan Lowe. James McCabe 5.7. These are the 5-minute personal bests for these riders. Looks like Johnny Rocket's moving his way to the front. Maybe somebody might try to sneak attack. Going into the caves with the stalactites and the waterfalls. Cooling down before everything lights up on the final lap. The final lap of the Kiss America's PM race this evening. Jungle Circuit, 3 laps, 34 kilometers. It's all about positioning and seeing who's ready, who's willing to take on the pain. See if somebody's willing to attack up the hill, at the top of the hill. Who's going to try to ride away? Team Finesse still has his presence. Team Draft, HPP, 4i. What? Who else we got in there? Velocity. Oh, final lap. This is the cowbell lap.
People always eat junk, especially when they're funk and drunk. People always eat junk, especially when they're funk and drunk. People always.
James McCabe sitting at the front of the group.
Especially when they're funk and drunk, funk and drunk, funk and drunk, funk and drunk, funk and drunk.
Staying pretty compacto in the bottom of this jungle. They ride through the cave. Mentally preparing. Getting ready for what's about to happen. This final lap is when you'll start to see some of the fireworks fly. Seeing if they can break other riders. At the front there, you got Fred Goulet, Eric Lassell, James McCabe working his way up to the front there. Daniel Charles working his way to the front. Frank Deal slowly sliding back. Daniel Charles pushing. Team Finesse all riding in the caboose position. Daniel and James kind of separating themselves from the pack. Team Finesse working their way back up, cycling the riders through the front of the peloton. Eric Lassell pushing his way to the front. Johnny Rocket sitting in the back there. Johnny Rocket had done his couple whippersnapper attacks there at the very first lap. Nothing to avail. And then Frank Deal also had his chance to throw some attacks. And Mo also attacking earlier on in the race. Now it's a matter of who's got what left. Who's got what left? James McCabe at the front there. Regulet. Anybody's willing to make an attack around these bends, catch people off guard. Team Finesse kind of spreading out their riders to be in the right position to either attack or cover attacks. Been around 4.6, 5 watts, pushing up this hill. That is a fact. Johnny Rocket does have a powerful sprint. And if this group continues to ride together like this, they'll be taking Johnny Rocket on for a strong sprint finish. Who's willing to do the work? Who's willing to start attacking? Who's willing to see what they have in their legs? Pace is picking up a little bit. They push into the 4%. 6 watts. 204 beats a minute. James McCabe, heart just flittering, floating, flapping like a hummingbird. Mo's made his way to the front for team draft. Mo's now pushing 6 watts a kilogram. Got draft 1, 2, Lassell 3. Lassell looks like he might have picked it up a little bit just to position. McCabe's positioning, dropping a little bit further back. What's we got there? Alan Lowe, pretty strong rider. Looks like somebody threw it on a power up in the back there. That's a finesse rider. Is that Johnny Rocket in the back there? Or Poulot for Team Finesse. Worked his way up to the front. Mo's pushing the pace there at the front. James McCabe coming up beside him. Team Draft looks like they're deciding to do a little work there. He was willing to keep up with it. Mo's back to the front pushing. And there's Fred Goulet working his way around. Fred Goulet and Alan Lowe. This is where things tend to break apart, going down across this bridge. Maybe somebody in the back is waiting to attack. Really far back is Frank Deal. Oh, it looks like we have Mo's pushing up front. Goulet pushing up front. There goes Goulet. Goulet, 8-9 watts per kilogram. Goulet's trying to break a group. No real attacks yet. Nothing's happening. You got Charles, Daniel Charles at the front. Goulet right behind him. Working his way on the outside. It looks like Alan Lowe beside team member Poulat. Johnny Rocket sitting behind Mo and James McCabe. Frank Deal and Eric Lucelle bringing up the back of the group. Daniel Charles at the front of the group. It looks like the group is starting to fracture a little bit. Daniel Charles might be pushing the pace somewhat. Now there's 2 Team Finesse riders up at the front of the group. And here comes a 3rd Team Finesse rider. All working their way to the front of the group. Well, back of the group. Looks like you got some C riders, D riders trying to get motivated going into this last lap. Up at the front there, Mo for Team Draft, Lucelle, Fred Goulet, Daniel Charles, Alan Lowe, Poulat pushing through to the front here. D rider. Velovit. Couple C and D riders mixed into this group. There goes Mo, it looks like, or that Mo in the front there. Let's work our way back to the front, see if we get a strong position to watch this race. Yep. Team Drafts Mo at the front of that. There comes Team Finesse working there. It looks like it's going to work out to be a bunch sprint. Although Lucelle is pushing his way through the group, Lucelle has just started to push itself to the front of the group. Maybe it's just positioning. Not a whole lot there. Still Grupo Compacto. Dragging along some of the C and D riders. Daniel Charles making his way to the front. James McCabe following up with him. Alan Lowe and Poulat together for Team Finesse. Johnny Rocket still sitting in the back there. Johnny Rocket working effortlessly in the back, just waiting for his opportunity to attack, waiting for his opportunity to light off, to ignite in the sprint, where Johnny Rocket tends to excel. Still Grupo Compacto going down the hill. Maybe everybody's getting ready for that bunch sprint. Nobody's willing to take that breakaway. Going to be Johnny Rocket. Is Johnny Rocket going to light off those rocket boosters? Is going to be Mo for Team Draft? Is it going to be Lucelle? Who's it going to be? Who's going to win this, folks? We're getting into the final 4 kilometers. 4 kilometers. Not even 4 kilometers. What's this race? 34 kilometers. We're nearing the end, folks. We're nearing the end. The final, probably 2 kilometers of this race. Looks like Fred Goulet has made his way to the front. Goulet has made his way to the front, with Lucelle chasing right behind him, and Mo. Looks like Alan Lowe coming around the left side. Going to be a bunch sprint. Oh, there goes a power up from Frank Deal. 13 watts per kilogram. Frank Deal is pushing out the front. 14 watts. Frank Deal is doing what he can to break up this group so there isn't a bunch sprint. Frank is going from way out of town. He is trying to set himself apart from everybody else. Nobody is on Frank's wheel. Frank is doing this all by himself. 9 watts per kilogram. Mo is trying to catch him. Mo is doing... We got Lucelle 7. Frank Deal pushing himself out the front of the group. Nobody was paying attention. It looks like Frank's trying as hard as he can. He's fading. Lascelles 9, Mo 10. Here comes the rest of the pack. It looks like Frank burned that match and he's out. He's out. Lascelles is pushing. Oh, he's picking back up Frank. Lascelles. Oh, let me see if I can get out. Oh, there it is. Is that Mo and James McCabe? James McKay and Mo, they're pushing draft for 1-2, and I'm sorry I have the worst view possible, but that was an epic finish. Mad props to Frank Deal for such an early attack to lead into the final sprint. What an amazing race. What an amazing race. And according to Swift Power, James McCabe takes first place. Johnny Rocket second. Boulot third. Alan Lowe fourth. Mo for Team Draft fifth. Fred Goulet sixth. Eric Lascelles seventh. And David Charles eighth. What a race, ladies and gentlemen. What a phenomenal finish. Excellent job to all the riders out there. What a sprint. So much credit goes out there. Congratulations. Congratulations to all the riders. Frank Deal, where are you? We'll give you that ride on. Such a phenomenal. Give James McCabe, Goulet for finesse. Just an amazing Goulet. Just an amazing job from everybody out there. Hey, JC Velo. Justin, how's it going? What an amazing race. What an amazing race. Well, thank you for joining me this evening. Hopefully you enjoyed the race. First time at it.
From varicose veins.
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Frank Deal. Let's give this guy a thumbs up. What an amazing attack from Frank Deal. So early. He gave it all he could. Pushing out 13 watts a kilogram, 14 watts a kilogram. Just digging as hard as he could out to the finish line, but couldn't hold it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching the Rumble in the Jungle.
So let's talk.
Hopefully you enjoyed what you saw. I don't know if I'll do it again, but it sure was a lot of fun. Please, if you enjoyed, let me know. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great night. And what do they say? Right on.
Just hit the banner now for your chance to win.
Hey Spotifyers, click or tap the banner to listen to today's top hits. The 50 best songs from around the world. Always fresh and always brand new.